Hey guys, welcome back. I am in a new room, but still a lot more dungeon to get through. Wait a minute, I'm not supposed to be down here. I wanted to talk about, I was just trying to look through old notes and I saw one. I was gonna maybe do a video of just like a normal video, like a vlog of just like me and the camera talking about something. I guess I should say, like, if you had an idea for me to do something like that, comment about it. You could comment, and I would try. But I was thinking, like, I don't really have a face that's meant for YouTube, like a close-up video. It's I like doing these kind of videos because I'm a little further away. Can't really see me too well. I'm in the corner and you're like kind of looking at the game. But once you get that vlog video and it's like you and your face is like 1080p, whatever, 4K, it's not pretty. So I guess I might try to do a video like that, but I don't have a YouTube-y face. Like, I can never imagine doing one of these ASMR videos where the person's face is like right up against the I don't know how they do that. I mean, they're good looking, so they can do it. I don't understand what to do here. Hey, he climbed it. Do I shoot it with an arrow? My nose is itchy again. I don't know what's happening. I don't get it. This is how I itch my nose. Because I don't want people to think I'm like picking it like. That might be like some weird psychological thing too. Looks like a tick or something. Oh, okay, that helps. Those little dog heads. Well, I didn't have much to talk about. I wanted to maybe mention... I really need to get better notes for next week. I wonder what I'll play next week. I don't know. I could keep doing Final Fantasy X. This feels weird. This feels wrong. Okay. Is that bad? Did I just drop out of the frame? Yeah. I shouldn't do that. Okay. Hold on. I gotta reset. Oh. I just got self-conscious about being slouchy, and then, like, I don't know. Okay. Wait. Nah. Now what? Oh, that's cool. Rick and Morty is a TV show that is hard to talk about because there is like a weird stigma around it that's like I watch it because... Okay, what do I do here? Can I kill him with arrows? Dan Harmon created Community, which is one of my favorite shows. And he also created this Rick and Morty show, which is a cartoon. It's one of the only shows that I watch whenever new episodes come out. I watch it. Just because I like Dan Harmon and I like his shows. I've never really been a super big fan of Rick and Morty. I talked about it before. Oh. Just because it's a cartoon and it does feel like it's not for me. Like it's for if you're like 12 or if you're like 13 years old, that's perfect for you. But there's something about it that feels a little bit weird watching it as a adult person. Okay, this is a crazy fight. That's a good tip. He does what you do. I think maybe you're supposed to use the hammer. Okay. Yeah. I don't really understand how you're supposed to know that. You're just supposed to try stuff, I guess. Is that it? Will he not attack if I don't attack? Dude. I must be doing something. Yay. Yeah, that boss can be like impossible if you don't know what you're supposed to do, but I guess just use the hammer. Ooh, is this the long shot? So, I don't know, I just wanted to mention there was like a fun episode that they just did of, it was about stories. Like, it was kind of a meta thing about, like, Dan Harmon knows a lot about stories, so it's fun to watch him kind of, like, deconstruct a story within... Okay, what's Song of Time? Write A down, write A down. I'd like to watch it again because it's one of those things where like you don't actually know what's kind of going on until halfway through it. So the idea is like there's this train that is a toy you can buy in like this galactic market or whatever. And it's a train about stories. It's hard to explain. But I guess the thing that I liked about it is the story. It goes through like don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it without like thinking about it beforehand. I didn't really think about it. There's a villain on the train who's like this time, or this, I think he's called like Story Lord, and he's like a villain of the train, and in the end, I guess his goal is to like, to suck out the best stories of Rick and Morty and and use them for himself or something. So he has this machine that like sucks stories out of them, and then it plays them on this screen. And Rick and Morty are like scared. They're like, oh no, he's sucking our best stories out. Like once he takes this story out, we can't use it. So it's like this epic thing, and there's like, and it's like, oh, this looks so cool. And then Rick and Morty outsmart the villain by turning it into a terrible story. And what they do is they make it like a Christian they make it like a Christian movie, or like a, well, they just make it about like Christianity, because Christianity is, it's impossible to write about. Obviously, like the Bible is, I think even people who aren't Christians respect like the storytelling in the Bible, in the Old Testament and the New Testament. But like there's this terrible trend of like terrible Christian movies that are like awful because writing about Christianity is hard. I got a key. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. And I don't know, just watch the episode. They make fun of I don't know. I guess they're making fun of like Veggie Tales and I'm just talking about it now. It's like I can't really explain it, so just watch it. Sorry. That was bad. Sorry. I guess I probably should have tried to think about it more before I talked about it. I guess I could try to get into like why are Christian movies so terrible? I don't really know why. And when they make fun of it, they don't really explain why it's terrible. They just are like, yeah, Christian stories are awful. I guess I did talk a little bit about God's Not Dead and why that was bad. They're just the worst. I don't really understand why even Christians like it, because I'm a Christian and I'm like, this movie is awful. Oh, I got the long shot, that's right. Maybe I'm not like, I don't know. I'm not as Christian-y as Christians are, so. Yeah, the idea is that the premise of God's Not Dead is like this college kid goes to this psychology class, and then the psychology teacher's like, we're gonna pretend for the sake of this class that God doesn't exist, or God is dead. So write it on a piece of paper, God is dead, then hand it in, and we can start from scratch. And this Christian kid's like, I can't do that because I'm a Christian. It's like, what? You're okay. Who cares? I'm just asking you, like, for the sake of an argument, just pretend that God doesn't exist, so we can think about like these different philosophers and how they thought about life. But like, you can still be a Christian. I'm not telling you not to be. And this isn't a church. It's a classroom. We're learning. We're not believing. It's the premise of that movie is so insane. And you're supposed to be on the kid's side because they make the teacher like this villain atheist person. But it's so hard to side with the kid because you're just like, what are you doing? Why are you acting like a martyr? And it's just like a philosophy class. You're not getting burned at the stake for believing in Jesus. Okay, whatever. There must be a way to make a movie like that and make it good, but that movie is not good. And the second one is probably worse because it's in a courtroom, which is like that's even more ridiculous than a classroom. I guess it's an interesting idea, but why is it so terrible? Like, the idea for the second one is like they want to prove that God exists, because then if he does, like, this lawyer is like trying to make this argument that God exists so that he can defend the defendant. That's his avenue for defense. It's an interesting idea, but the way Christians are always like these white people who are like these underdogs. It's like, it just comes across as like they're trying to be these martyrs for stupid stuff. Like, just calm down. You're not being oppressed. You can be a Christian. Nobody cares. You can pray in school. Nobody's stopping you. But don't force other people to pray. That's weird. Especially in a public school. Anyway, whatever. I guess that's it for the week. I didn't get to the boss, which I kind of wanted to, but maybe next time I'll start off just at the boss. That would be weird. I'll try to just make some more progress, though. And I hope everybody's doing okay. Stuff is starting to reopen. That's good. But I'm rambling, so I will stop and let you get back to your interesting lives. See you tomorrow.